What's going on, everybody? So a few people have asked me what do I think about going from T5s to LEDs. So today that's what we are going to talk about. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So it's been 3 months since I took off my T5 fixture and installed the radions over the tank, and I want to give you guys my thoughts on it and talk to you a little bit about the differences, the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons, I guess you could say. Now, these pros and cons are really basically for me and how my reef tank runs. I don't think really my pros and cons would match up with everybody out there, but I'm going to give you my opinion on it, my thoughts. So I've been in the hobby for 4 years, and I've been running T5s for the first 3 years and say 3 months, and then I added Reef Brights to the T5s, and let me tell you, the T5 and Reef Bright combination is legit. That's the best way to describe it. So I've been wanting to try out LEDs mainly because, if you have a T5 tank, there's very little to absolutely almost no shimmer in the tank whatsoever. It's a very plain, blah looking tank, but I know that the corals love it. I didn't mind the color that I was using. It was actually a nice bluish to whitish color. It wasn't all blue, so it was very nice to look at. You could see the fish and see their natural colors. So I did enjoy the actual, color of it, but you didn't see these dark spots where the caves were. It was always completely lit underneath because the T5s were putting out so much light. So I wanted to try LEDs. When I had the opportunity to try out the radions, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a couple of weeks to convince myself and say, you know what, let's make the change. If you're not familiar with the actual light fixture that I'm running at the moment, it's kind of like a DIY, LED T5 hybrid. I will leave the link at the top of the screen so you can check that video out if you did miss it. I think it's a pretty nice light fixture. I am getting some good results, and I believe in that video I might have the times and spectrums and all that stuff that I'm using. So let's talk about what I used to have, which was 4 T5s and 2 48-inch actinic tech reef brights. That's what I used to run, and I was very happy with it. I grew a lot of coral, enough to the point where I could frag it and bring it to multiple swaps. Now, since I had a lot of coral out of here and it was just the coral that I liked a real lot and it was just little frags, I said, you know what, I guess now's the perfect time to do so. And I recently went, at the time I had gone and did a tour at Ecotech, and I was actually able to look throughout the whole facility, see how things are made, meet the actual makers and inventors and owners of Ecotech, and they are very, very nice people, and they have a very nice product, very high quality. We all know that Ecotech makes really, really good products. So, over thinking about it and then, getting the opportunity to try them, I decided, you know what, let me go for it. I was running the G4 Pros, XR15 G4 Pros for about a week, and then I said, you know what, I need to add some T5s to it just because I needed that, calmness, I guess, because I love my T5s. So that's what I'm currently running, 2 XR15 G4 Pros and 2 48-inch single Reef Bright T5 fixtures, one on the front and one on the back, and I am using the ATI actinic bulbs. So I want to talk to you guys real quick about the pros and the cons for me, and then I want to talk about the pros and the cons for the coral. So really, the cons for me about having the LEDs, and we're going to specifically talk about the radions today. So the cons about having the radions for me is there's too much that I can tinker with. I'm not a tech savvy guy. You've probably heard me say that time and time again. And there's just way too many options that you can choose from with the radions. So I did get a little help from my LFS and a couple other guys that are running Radions, and we have a pretty good program, and I've actually just let it sit still. So that's really the only con, is that there's just so much adjustability for me. T5s are, you know, super simple and sweet. You just plug them in and they automatically give the coral exactly what they need. That's why I loved the T5s so much. But, you know, I got to progress as the tank progresses, so we went with the Radions. And you know what? I'm not regretting it. It was the first probably 2 to 3 weeks where almost every day I came home and I said, man, I'm taking these things off my tank. I'm putting the T5s back over it. Nothing is better than what I used to have. And you know what? I'm half right, half wrong. Probably, I would say maybe 30% wrong on that. So let's talk about that. So really the only cons, like I said, for me was that I could adjust so much stuff, where with the T5s, you can't adjust anything. Just the only thing you can adjust with T5s is when they turn on and when they turn off and the actual type of bulb you're using. So there wasn't really a whole lot I could do with T5s besides just let them turn on and give the coral a good suntan. Now, the good things about the Radions for me is I do like the ramping. I really like that it ramps up and down. You know, towards the end of the night when I see the tank getting darker, I know personally what time it is. So I start doing my little nightly chores, I guess you could say, and I like that. Also, I really like that I'm able to make presets for specific videos. Like if I want to do a full spectrum video or all blues, couldn't do that with T5s. You just couldn't get that effect. You couldn't make a video where it was really crazy pop. That's really when the Reef Brights came in. But if, you know, I was running T5s for those 3 years, I could never do that. Like if I look back at my old videos, everything was really, really white, and I didn't have a whole lot of pop going on. Right now I'm doing the video in a, you know, my fuller spectrum, and I kind of like the way it's looking at the moment, specifically for this video, because it does, you know, it doesn't really show the crazy pop in the spectrum that I have it going at the moment, but it does show everything in its natural color. For example, you guys can see in the back there's that green Signalaria, and then right up front is this yellow soft coral. And you can see the difference in the two. They don't both look green. They don't both look yellow. You can see the difference in them. And I really like that. You can see the Aussie gold is gold. It doesn't have that crazy pop. I am going to be doing a video on how the tank looks in like deep blues. And we'll see how everything looks, because my buddy Richmond Reefer really appreciates that. So I'm going to make that video specifically for you, buddy. While we're here, I also want to take a look at that blue zing right there. That thing, I mean, look at the color of it. Whew. Anyway, so coral. I'm going to get through this real quick as well, because we're already 8 minutes plus in. So the coral, I thought some coral liked it better under T5s and some liked it better under LEDs. Most of the coral seemed to not care either way. But I have noticed some not growing as fast and some growing way faster. So when I was running T5s, the zoanthids would multiply, it seemed like overnight. But they would just grow so fast, and I was able to frag the heck out of them. And they're not growing as fast at the moment, but without the, you know, throughout the whole tank, I've actually seen a huge growth spurt just in the past week. So, and one of the growth spurts is with the zoanthids. So I'm guessing, you know, 3 months, they're finally getting used to the light. Now, these down here, these are the Vamps and Drag and the Sour Apples. They've been down here when it was T5s. You could see how they were growing and spreading along the rock. Well, they're not doing that at the moment. They've been looking like this for about 2 months now, where they're like half open, half closed, and I don't know why, but they're not dead and they're not melted, so we're going to leave them kicking. So zoanthids seem to be not growing as fast under LEDs as they were under a full T5 light fixture. Another thing is Goniopora. I've been really talking about these Goniopora lately. I've never been able to keep them in a reef tank, and I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the lighting, because I'm running the same tank that I always have, just never been able to keep them alive. Actually, let's take a little view of them from the side. I mean, look at them. they don't get much happier than that. The metallic green one there at the top extends almost about 3 inches tall with the longest sweepers. So those guys are definitely appreciating the hybrid that I'm running at the moment. And I've also seen a huge growth spurt recently on the SPS. I was a little worried about them because I didn't see a whole lot of growth, but recently they are showing huge signs of growth. I want to show you guys. So if we look at this extremely happy Birds of Paradise, you can see all those yellowish little dots on them. Those are all new branches getting ready to shoot out. That thing is ready to take off any day now. I'm thinking probably by Christmas time this thing is going to be twice as big. All the other coral, and SPS wise, are extremely happy. And now let's real quick, the blue Zen. Let me focus on this guy. Alright, so this one has really shown some serious growth over the past few weeks. When I first got this, it was so small, it was extremely hard to glue to the rock. Now, it's about 1 inch tall by 1.5 inches wide, just growing really, really fast. So I'm actually impressed by how the lights are right now. Everything is, SPS-wise, the polyps, I couldn't ask for any better polyp extension than I have at the moment. Even this one right here that I've had trouble with in the past. This is the Tubs, man, I always forget it. Blue carbon. Pat, where are you guys at? Tell me what the name of this coral is. I forget. But it's Monty something or other. I don't remember. It's like my nemesis named coral. I always forget what it is. But anyway, all the SPS are doing well. The Euphilia, LPS, ACANs are crushing it. Look at these things. Beefy as could be. Oh look, T5s just turned off. So now we're looking at it with only the radions, and it still looks pretty darn good. But now that those lights kicked off, I think it's a perfect time to end the video. So my thoughts on the 3 months, let me tell you, I really struggled with being okay with taking all my T5 bulbs away. I did sneak 2 back up top above. You guys can see here. There's the 2 T5s they just turned off, but yeah, radions with the light diffusers on them. Highly recommend it. I mean, the shimmer is wildly perfect. But yeah, I'm happy with the way things are going with this combo. So I'm glad I took up the offer on using them, and I'm excited about the future for my tank and the coral. So that's it for now, everybody. We'll come back and look at the tank in another 3 months and talk about the lighting as well and see if I still like it. But that's it for now, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.
Alright, I just want to thank you guys again for stopping by. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And while you're here, hit that little crab icon to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell for any future videos or updates. And in case you haven't seen these 2 videos, you might want to click on one and check it out. Again, thanks for stopping by.